pergola.
Huh?
Yeah.
Pergola?
I don't know why I know that.
Huh.
Like like a wooden roof and little posts going up.
Yeah, in the garden, right? Yeah, it has a little roof. Yeah, anyway, they built him a beautiful pergola that had jeweled columns. There are many, many valuable jewels on each column. So upon seeing his bodily reflection, he expressed his feelings. How wonderful it is that I have never seen such a beautiful form. Although it is my own form, still, like Radharani, I am trying to embrace this form and enjoy celestial bliss. This statement shows how Krishna and his reflection are one and the same. There is no difference between Krishna and his shadow, between Krishna and his reflection, nor between Krishna and his picture. That is the transcendental position of Krishna. So when people wonder, how can you worship a picture? Or how can you worship the deity form? It's because everything connected with Krishna is on the same transcendental level. The qualities of Krishna, these 64 qualities that we're talking about, that we've been studying, I think this is part 11. We've been talking about this for quite some time. But all of these transcendental qualities are also present in Krishna's name, in his form, in his pastimes, in his entourage, in his abode, in anything connected with Krishna. This is Krishna's transcendental nature. And we can experience this by chanting the holy name. When we chant the holy name of Krishna offenselessly, and Krishna reveals himself, then we can taste all these qualities in the holy name itself. So this is our experience, and you can also have this experience. The above statements describe some of the wonderful reservoirs of pleasure within Krishna, as well as the transcendental qualities of his personality. The transcendental qualities of Krishna are compared to the ocean. No one can estimate the length and breadth of the ocean. But as one can understand that the ocean's contents simply by testing one drop of it, so these statements will give us some understanding of Krishna's transcendental position and qualities. And when we see the ocean, we can't really conceive how big it is. I mean, we can look on a map and we can say things like, oh, it's 3,000 miles from here to there. But what does that really mean? Can anybody understand what 3,000 miles means? We've never even walked 3,000 miles. We'd have no idea, really, how big that ocean is or how deep it is. We can read in places the Pacific Ocean is 35,000 feet deep. But who can understand this? One time I was on Guam, the island of Guam in the Pacific. And on one side of Guam is pretty much standard, shallow, sandy bottom ocean, 110 to 300 feet deep. But on the other side of Guam, it's right on the edge of the Marianas Trench. And it goes down at a 70-degree angle for 30,000 feet. So when you dive on one side of Guam, you can see the bottom, and you can see, there's corals and there's, different fish swimming around, and you have a sense of perspective. But when you dive on the other side of Guam, there's just this enormous abyss. You can't fathom it. You can't conceive of it. But you can feel it, and it's just like totally awesome. So this is how deep Krishna's qualities are. Krishna's qualities are like a whole ocean. You can never sample all of Krishna's qualities, because even if you could, somehow or other, then in the next moment they would grow and expand more. You wouldn't be able to keep up. Even Krishna himself can't keep up with his transcendental qualities, because they're always growing, always expanding. So Krishna may know his transcendental qualities at one moment, but then the next moment they expand. Even Anantashesha, with his unlimited numbers of heads, each one of them is glorifying Krishna's wonderful transcendental qualities, but he's never reached the end, and he never will. He can't catch up. So if the personality of Godhead himself cannot narrate his own transcendental qualities, then what to speak of us? But we can know that this is an unlimited field of experience and transcendental bliss in the spiritual world. All we have to do is connect with Krishna, and then we'll have access to all of that. And we can experience all these things directly in Krishna's personal association. And all we have to do to attain that is to earn Krishna's association by becoming a pure devotee of his transcendental pastimes. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 7 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma says, "My dear Lord, the inconceivable qualities, beauties, and activities which you have revealed by your presence cannot be calculated by any material measurement. If one even tries to imagine Krishna may be like this, that is also impossible. The day may come when the material scientists, after many, many births or after many, many years, will be able to estimate the atomic constitution of the whole world. Or he may be able to count the atomic fragments that permeate the sky. Or he may even give an estimate of all the atoms within the universe. But still, never be able to count the transcendental qualities in your reservoir of transcendental bliss." So, even Lord Brahma becomes bewildered when he tries to comprehend Krishna's qualities. So that's it. That's 64 qualities.
Jai.
The next chapter is called Krishna's personality. See, what we're doing here is we're going over all of the impetuses for devotional service. Krishna's wonderful qualities, his personality, his different activities and pastimes, and Krishna's devotees also serve as the impetus for devotional service. And they give this attractive feature. They reveal Krishna's attractiveness. For example, when the spiritual master speaks about Krishna, because he speaks with realization, he's knowing, he's seeing directly these qualities, then you can get some idea how wonderful they are by the enthusiasm or by the love or by the affection with which the pure devotee speaks of Krishna. You see, so you can get some idea measured on a human scale of what it's like to actually contact. I mean, if even the demigods can't really understand Krishna's qualities, what to speak of us? But the tiny drop of Krishna that we can taste through our limited activities and knowledge is enough that that's all we want to do. We just want to taste those transcendental qualities more and more and go deeper and deeper into this ocean of transcendental bliss. So that's the process of devotional service. And we invite everyone to engage in this process and, give up trying to find this happiness in the material world, because it's just so frustrating and impossible. So by this process, you can become free from this nonsense. It's actually a kind of disease, Just like if we see somebody doing something that causes them distress and pain, but they're doing it over and over and over again, and they're not giving it up, then we can understand, there's some mental problem there, right? Friend, or trying some new drug or trying some new religion or some new sports team or some new car or some this or some that. And every time they become frustrated and they have to get a new one and start all over again. What is the end of that? But yet, as soon as we become in our normal relationship with Krishna, all these other sources of pleasure are automatically seen to be nothing, insignificant. They're insignificant because they have a beginning and an end. But we don't have beginning and end. So what's the use of pursuing some pleasure that's going to end when we have no end? What's the use of some so-called pleasure that has a defective